Alright, hopefully this is working. It's been a while. Hey Johnny, or Yominus. The mic seems like it's a little bit hot. Let's turn that down a little bit. And hopefully you'll still be able to turn the Elgato up a little bit. Yeah, I thought I'd stream basically me destroying this place for a little while. I'm not actually destroying it, I want it all to be flat. Hey, the mic is quiet. Okay, that's fine. Redecorating is one way to put it. It's definitely one way to put it. Hey, look. It's one way to put it. I've chopped down all but 2 trees. So there is currently a lot of wood all over the place, on the floor. My pocket, did I empty my pockets? Sort of. I need to go send 2 fossils to 2 people, to 2 wonderful human beings, or 2 wonderful villagers. Let me know if you guys can hear an echo on the TV, because the TV speakers are also on. But hopefully the RTX voice stuff is sorting this out. There might also be a delay on the webcam versus my voice, I don't know. It's going through so much processing. No, I don't want to fly anywhere, I want some stuff. Right, who needs what? Cool. Right. Yes, send me. Yeah, this is me in my little area office thing with the door closed at the minute. It gets kind of warm in here. So once summer hits, I'm going to have to open both windows and have a lot of people stare at me. Friend. Which friend? I want to send one first to Terra. He can have the tropical island looking thing. Yeah, fossil. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the webcam border as well. I've basically bought the icon that you can see that was originally a raccoon, and I've tried to turn it into a very angry looking red panda. It's not quite worked, but it's fine. But basically that's now my entire branding is like the white, the sort of orangey red, and a raccoon. So the rest of it's actually been pretty good. Right, which one did he need? The tail. Yes, he needs the tail. Yeah, tail. Yep, that's fine. And one more. Yep. Well, if your branding's not that bad, don't put yourself down so much. Honestly, the thing for me was that I was trying to do like an esports style logo, much like your stream teams style stuff. But I was trying to learn Illustrator to do it at the same time, and I'm freaking terrible at Illustrator. And so in the end, I just decided, screw it. I'll look online and I'll buy something, and I'll buy the rights so I'm allowed to edit it and that kind of thing. And yeah, ended up buying something that came with a lot of like various icons. And originally there was a panda that had like a like blue cloak and bamboo like torches coming out of his back. And I tried to put the raccoon head on top of that, and it was all just, it was kind of a bit, it was a bit messy. It was a bit Huh. Do I not have... Oh, yeah. He's named Bean. It was all a bit of... It was a bit too much. What should we give him? We'll give him... We'll give him... the big star, because he's a big star. And we're also just getting a word fossil. Normally these come with like a really long, like, I'd like to thank you for whatever. Oh, actually, tea is a good idea. Hang on. Ah, fuck it, I've already... Okay, I'll do that in a minute. He can have the word foss instead of fossil. Too late. Tea is a good idea, though. Oh, actually, I need to tell him there's a mug. I need to tell him there's a mug in my shop. That's a fair point, yeah. He must have freaked out when that originally got announced. Yeah. Is there a tea theme? I'm just gonna send him, like, if there is, I'm just gonna send him one regardless. Yep. Okay, flowers, petals, more flower, or a weed or whatever, more flowers. Birthday egg cake thing. Oh wait, no, those aren't eggs, are they? I'm an idiot. Probably raspberries. That's the closest. There is tea. There's tea and biscuits. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. This was meant to be island reconstruction, but I'll buy the mug and I'll send him to it. Send it to him using that. Actually, it's probably, to be fair, it's probably a mug of coffee, but I don't know. I don't know how loud the rain is, by the way. Alright, is it a mug of coffee or is it a mug of tea? It's just a mug. Okay, cool. It looks like it's a latte in there. Hang on, I can actually get a closer look. No, that was not the right button. Yeah, that's a latte. Whatever. You can pretend it's tea. Because I'm doing the wrong thing again. Apparently I'm very much not with it. Do we know what brand he drinks? Because me and Serena have happened to have been working through old Tetley decaf that my parents have left behind because we've run out of Yorkshire tea. And I was this close, even though we've got about, I don't know, like 30 tea bags left or something. Tetley is just brown water. I don't care how long you leave it in there, or how much little milk, or how little milk. Like, it is just brown water. I'm this close to going on Amazon and purchasing one of those huge bags of Yorkshire tea because I'm so done with, like, with having Tetley. Wait, where's it gone? Was it down? What's that? No, that is the wrong letter. I don't blame him. I don't mind the clipper tea stuff. It's okay. Here's what it is, it's not Yorkshire. My nan used to stock up on massive boxes of Yorkshire tea, and I think when they moved to Bognor, she still had about 5 boxes left to take with her. Because she, like, as soon as they were on offer, she'd buy like if it's buy one get one free, we're buying 2 at least. Doesn't matter how many she had left. She literally had a cupboard for tea boxes, just tea. Don't get me wrong, she's one of those classic people who used to stock up on like lots of stuff, and like, I forgot to attach the present, didn't I? Fuck it, he can have the letter I'll send in the mug later. I need to get on with island reconstruction. Can't believe I forgot to do that. Right, I need to do a couple of things here. I need to grab some. What do I need for a flimsy spade? Shovel. Hardwood. Okay. So I need to grab out of my storage a load of hardwood and a load of nuggets for when I craft. No, I'm not done building. I'm definitely not done building. So I need hardwood and yeah, iron. Right, now you can come see my little workshop area computer there. I don't know. It's yeah. Yeah. This is the workshop area. Can you guess what's on the screen? I craft a load of shovels because I know they're going to break otherwise. That is not quap, Johnny. It's definitely not quap. Hang on, I'll give you a better look in a sec. Turn the speakers down a little. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there we go. You may have been getting double audio a second there. Because for whatever reason my Elgato seems to come through the desktop audio as well as the video capture part. All done, and then turn both those flimsy shovels into normal shovels. Right, hang on, I'll give you one more look at that. Bear in mind, I've had to draw it. Because when I tried to use an image converter online, it looks terrible. In fact, I'll show you. No, hang on, let me build these shovels. Trust me, I do wish this was my shed. But I don't think 3 full rack server cabs could fit in there. 1 probably could, actually. Don't give me ideas. Need to put all of this stuff in storage. Unfortunately, yeah, I can't put you in storage. I'll have to go plant you. That can go in storage. This can just be dropped in here because my gates aren't open and no one can steal my money. Thankfully. Okay. No. You sure? I can see it. It's very quiet in the house. The house is very quiet. Like, I've got no music playing in the house or anything like that. So let me know if the game audio has actually gone, and I'll just turn on the desktop audio again. I need to plant. Fuck it. Go. They can go here. And then what else did I have? No, nothing else. Right, cool. Let's arrange this. So they're all selectable, and I want it. Cool. Alright, basically what I'm doing is I am completely destroying these cliffs. I'm going to need to eat some fruit at some point because I need to destroy the rocks as well. As you can see, where I cut down all the trees, because when you use an axe on the trees... Alright, hang on. Let's... Okay. Alright. That's better. That was weird. Whatever. No, don't worry. I fixed it already. That's my fault. I muted the wrong thing for a second. Right, basically, I need to be getting rid of... I hate all of this. I hate all of this cliff. This whole thing used to be covered in flowers and bits of wood, and it's still got 2 flowers here because I'm a bits before. So you can get out. And there was actually a waterfall. You can't see the screen, what am I doing? I just pointed to the screen. There was a waterfall coming from here, going all the way and joining up to here, and there was another waterfall there. But I really don't like cliffs. I just want this all to be flat so I can actually design stuff around there not being cliffs there. So I need to climb down and start destroying stuff, and eventually I'm going to need to go on the second cliff because otherwise I'll never be able to climb up high enough to destroy it. So thankfully I don't have to destroy shovels here. I have a construction permit, so I can basically just do this, and that shovel that he's using never breaks. You can't use it for anything else but destroying and building cliffs. I don't know why. It seems stupid and silly because here's this non-breaking shovel. Oh, and yeah, admittedly I am destroying some habitat, but you know, sacrifices have to be made. It's fine, the bugs can just go on one level down. This is the only issue with this. If I don't move forward, I'll end up just rebuilding some of the cliffs. So the good thing is it'll only let me go so far. So when I get to the end of here, how far out am I? Actually, probably just... Okay, I can't... But you can see that, like, there's all this bit here that, like, while it's up that high, I can't really get to much of it. So now all this is kind of going to be way more open, and I can actually make plans for things. But the game gets real funny when you get to like bits of bodies of water and stuff like that, because like if I'm here, I can't just build a cliff here because there's water. Like he won't just shove the thing in. I don't know, I don't think so. I know best friends, the friends thing, you have a best friends list and a friends list. But like basically if they come onto my island, I know they can at least dig holes and stuff like that if they're listed as best friends. I don't think they can do island construction stuff. The one thing I don't know is the multiplayer aspect. So you can do local multiplayer on this, but apparently it's very much like the second player is very restricted. Apparently, like, so if you're the second one on the island, you don't get to name the island. You can't, like, if I want to build a bridge somewhere, which is usually over like a lake or whatever. If I want to build a bridge and I initiate, I'm the first one on the island, and I initiate that construction, what happens is you have to pay for it. You have to pay 98,000 bells, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. You have to donate 98,000 bells to this guy, to this gyro who's standing there going, hey, we need money for building this bridge. The second person on the island is not allowed to donate to that construction. So if you're thinking about getting a copy for 2 people, you are better off getting a copy for a second Switch, because you can't have 2 separate islands on this. Basically, the island is tied to the Switch, not the profile. Which is literally the only issue I have with this. Because if I wanted someone else to be playing, if they wanted to start their own island and have their own stuff, it has to be on a completely different Switch. Kinda, yeah. Mostly a helping hand. Like, you know, you're allowed to go and pick the fruit and sell the fruit and that kind of thing, but obviously the bells aren't shared then either. But I think the same goes both. I think it goes both ways, so that when you're, if you're the second person on the island and you initiate a construction job, the first person on the island can't contribute to the cost of it. It's just a weird. I don't know. It's Nintendo's online and multiplayer stuff. Let's put it that way. As you can see, there's a lot of locusts popping about. I think those mainly turn up when, like, it's raining. Jeez, I thought I was going to be near the end of it. Like, how much further do I have to go on this bit? Okay, not too much further, but like, I need to do down here and then across. There's really not a lot I can do. Okay. So in theory, when I get here, it shouldn't let me. Yeah, so I can't destroy that because that cliff's still there. Let's start getting rid of stuff on there. Right. Need my current one to sift up all of the flowers, and then I'll build bits of it, and I'll have to fill in all of the water here as well, because otherwise it won't let me destroy it. Yeah, there you go. Thought that was going to happen. So that shovel's gone, moving on to the next one. To be fair, that I've been using that shovel for quite a while, so well before this stream. But that's fine, I expected that to happen, that's why I created 2 more. Realistically, what I should be doing with the lilies instead of selling them is replanting them somewhere. Because then I can grow different colours of flowers that you can't just buy and plant. Like I've got a couple of black. I've got a purple rose and a black rose somewhere, and if I get a second black rose, I can like try and grow gold roses, which are super rare. The main issue I'm going to have here is I'm going to need to go pick some fruit, because I need to be able to destroy this whole place completely. I'm going to need like you can see how much crap is in here. I'm going to need to destroy these 2 rocks by eating fruit. Basically, fruit is this game's version of stamina, but like I don't run out of stamina by doing normal things like digging holes and like digging up plants. I have stamina by eating fruit, and then it allows me to do more things. So like breaking rocks. Normally, actually, I haven't done this for a couple of days, so this might actually be a good example. Essentially, rocks are a way of getting resources. How much room do I have in my pockets? Because not a lot. So, like, the problem is with these flowers, they don't stack. Which is really annoying. So, I'll hit this once, and then you'll see what happens. Essentially, you get resources out of it. You get rocks, or iron nuggets, or gold nuggets sometimes. But I don't want these up here today, because I'm trying to get rid of them. I'm trying to get rid of all the cliffs and stuff. The main issue I have is that, so with the island construction thing, you can select this and you can request a cleanup. But while the cleanup think it will get rid of those flowers and anything I've dropped, it doesn't. It literally just gets rid of, there you go, placed items, so furniture that I place down, fencing and trees. It makes it completely pointless in my opinion. Like, it's so annoying. Like, I'd much rather it just like be able to stand like here and it just send all of those items like around here to the recycle, because it's pointless. Otherwise it just feels silly. But this is actually like a second tier of the cliff as well, which is really annoying. So like, I should probably go dig that up. That's a bell hole. It's probably the wrong word for it. It's essentially where there's a bag of bells to be dug up, and what you're meant to do is you're meant to plant like to guarantee returns of up to like guarantee 30k, so 10k bell bags. You're meant to replant 10,000 bells in the hole. Now that's so 10 is the maximum you can plant and have guaranteed returns. Like 100% you will always get 30 grand back. If you do anything higher than that, you start to get diminishing returns. You still get usually quite high like returns, but it's only guaranteed for if you plant 10 grand, but you will 100% all the time get 30 grand back. Well, I guess you get an extra 20k profit. Is the correct way to put that, because you're still getting rid of 10,000. Thankfully, wasp's nest stacks, so you can shake trees and wasp's nest might fall down. I think there's either 4 or 5 that drop. Yeah, how much wood do I? Okay, I can pick up tons of wood still. That's good. It's just the fact that the plants don't, the flowers, if I dig them up, they don't stack, which is just really annoying. So if I just go and pick them, they literally, it's like you picking your flower, he literally picks the flower off the top, and it's not the same as if I dig them. Like, if I pick them, the actual plant still stays there, it's just... Which is also kind of annoying, because you can accidentally do it. Like, if I'm going to grab wood here, there's a very good chance that I could accidentally just grab a flower. Well, I don't know. Right. Oh, and yeah, I did a stupid thing, and I put a song sheet board there because I thought it looked cool, and that needs getting rid of too. And these are just weeds, so those green things down there are also weeds. Yeah. How many? Probably don't have a lot of room left in my pockets now. I've got 2 more flowers to grab, and then I'll have to go sell everything. The thing is, I've got so many resources already in storage in my house. I really don't need to be putting any more in there. So like, yeah, now I have to go back. And realistically, as I said, I probably should be replanting these, but like, I can't put them in storage. So right now, they are useless to me. Oh, I also need to organise the demolition of this incline. Like, you can see how much of my map that this is going to be taking up. I would rather it all just be flat ground. Aside from, I have a non-native fruit mini orchard thing. Like, I have my pear orchard here, which is far too full. Like, I can't even see, like, if I'm here, like, you can't. It's really hard to see if I'm actually picking up the pears or not, so that needs sorting out at some point. But like, I've got a non-native fruit little orchard thing. That's the only thing I think I want still elevated, unless like I decide to do something like that again. There's so much wood from chopping down all the trees, and I'm pretty convinced today that 3 trees regrew overnight. So these are the 2 that I've left, and like yesterday they both, like, I think they were the last 2 trees there. And I'm pretty sure when I shook them yesterday, they both dropped wasp nests. So what I'm trying to do is optimize the amount of trees, maximum amount of trees that I need for the maximum amount of drops. So trees, when you shake them, can drop twigs, or sticks, or whatever you want to call them. They can drop coins as bells, so yeah, I think it's 100 bells that they can drop. Or they can drop wasps' nests, which then sting you, which is why my eye looks funny. And then they can also drop furniture. There's always 2 trees, if you've got the right amount, there's always 2 trees that will drop furniture when you take them. So I've been trying to get down to the minimum amount of trees, which we now think for, I only want the wasps, kind of, and the furniture. What I really want is the furniture, but because whatever trees they're in is random, if I don't have enough, then the ratio is higher. Obviously, I'm probably going to more often than not, if I only got 2 trees, that I'm more often than not, I'm going to get wasps in those trees because it's random. And I don't have any other trees for the furniture to be at. And you can only have one or the other in a tree. Obviously, you can't have furniture and wasps in a tree. So I think I need around 7 to 8 maximum. But what I want to do is get the island ready and have a little like fenced off section literally just for shaking the trees every day. It's also what some people have done with the rocks. Like, they've covered their entire island with designs on the floor. So when you put a design on the floor, nothing else can go on it aside from furniture, I think, or like resources. Basically, rocks can't respawn on it. And what people have done is left all but 4 squares covered, so that when the rocks respawn, so when you destroy a rock, one will respawn once per each day. So you destroy like a rock, the next day it'll have respawned somewhere else and so on. But because they can't spawn anywhere other than these 4 patches they've left, they end up getting all of their rocks in this little, you know, area that they've set up for it, which I think is quite clever. Which I would do, but I hardly use the rocks anymore. Like, the only reason I'd really use the rocks is in case a special bug comes out of them, or if, like, to get gold nuggets. So gold nuggets are pretty rare to get out of rocks, but I've managed to get about 6 so far, but given I've got like over 200 hours on this game now, and you can hit, I think you have 4 rocks on your island at any one time, like maximum of. Yeah, they don't turn up. It's as complicated as you want to make it. I'm making it complicated. You could just not give a shit about your island and everything else, and you'd be fine, and not really follow the rules. Like, it's all the nuances. Like, I went digging for this information as well. That's the other thing. And it's up to me. Like, you know, I want to go looking for the 2 pieces of furniture that drop out of trees. You know, every day, because it's fun, and well, it's fun until you get stung by wasps. Because of my eye now, so if I got stung by another set of wasps, I would faint and basically respawn back at my house. So actually, while I'm here, there's some medicine. I could just make it with a wasp's nest, but I just sold them, so There you go, eyes are fixed. Or N and I is fixed, whatever. Yeah, I have made it more complicated than it has to be. Like, but also there's a lot more systems in this one than I remember being. Like the first one that I played was Wild World on 3DS years ago. And while I think obviously probably that was in there then, like, you know, the 2 furnitures and the maximum amount of bees that can drop and that kind of thing. I don't think I ever went looking for it because I was a lot younger and did give a crap. But yeah, I need to fill in this bit up here. Like I need to fill in all the water and stuff like that. Because otherwise I can't destroy the cliff. Sorry, Mr. Fish. Time for you to swim away. You missed the rock and tree talk, Johnny. It was it wasn't very interesting, I won't lie. Basically, the reason I've been cutting down all my trees is to get down to the maximum amount of trees. Sorry, the minimum amount of trees I need for the maximum amount of drops. Sorry, Liv, you're going to hear this again. So every day, there are 2 pieces of furniture that are hidden in trees. But there are also up to, I think, 4 or 5 wasps' nests. And you can only have one or the other in each tree. You can't have a wasp's nest fall out and then shake it again and a bit of furniture will fall out. God knows who's hiding furniture in trees, but whatever. But what's happened is that I wanted to see what the minimum amount of trees I needed was. So that turns out, from what we can gather, is the minimum amount you need to have to get all 5 or 4 wasps' nests and furniture. You need 5 trees. That's the minimum you can have because they're randomly spawning. I've got 2 trees at the minute, but because obviously there's a maximum of, I didn't ask you to do that, because the maximum of 5 wasps' nests, it means that if I've only got 2 trees, more likely than not, those are just going to drop wasps' nest all the time. You know, I might get lucky one day and have both of them drop the furniture, but it's better that I have enough trees for all 7 or 8 things to go to, so that I can have a little section and get all the things I need. Like, I don't really care about the wasp's nest, like they just sting you and make your eye look funny and then make you faint if you get stung again. So they're more annoying than anything, but if I don't have the trees, if I don't have enough trees, I can't get the furniture drops. So, oh right, you need to destroy the cliff on top. So yeah, that's how far it will let me get before like destroying the thing. Yeah, because my original idea was to go down to 2 trees and hope that the furniture just spawns in those 2 trees every time, and then I learned that hey, that's not the case. The tarantulas are fine, they don't spawn a lot on like your own island. Mostly you'll find them on the other islands that you go to, so not other people's islands, but you get to go to deserted little island things that you basically pay to go to via Nook Miles tickets. So you get Nook Miles for essentially their points rewards, like a Tesco Club card, for like complete. So Nook Miles Plus is like dailies in WoW, like daily tasks, picking up seashells, sell shells, sell fruit, catch bugs, sell a hot item. So every day the shop has 2 hot items at the minute that I can sell to them, and they give me double the normal amount in catch fish. Whereas these are like more long-term tasks. So the one that I filled in is, oh, you need to plant every type of fruit, or this is the amount of fruit that I've sold. So they're more long-term tasks. Like one of them is actually for how long you've been on the island. It's right down the bottom. Yeah, active island red isn't. So once I've hit 100 days of being on the island, I'll get another bunch of hit miles. But you use them to buy things and unlock certain things and stuff, which is actually quite clever. Really. But you start to get an abundance of them, to be honest. And eventually, like, while there are things that I definitely want with them still, you eventually... I'm going to need to leave, like, at least... Oh, hang on, I need to at least leave one thing next to it so I can actually... So the rock talk part, Johnny, I need to destroy these rocks. To do so, I have to eat some fruit. Because that gives me stamina. Gives me stamina. Because doing stuff like this and digging up flowers and hitting trees and stuff doesn't run, like, there's no stamina associated with that. Stamina in this game allows you to do more and more things. So with like eating fruit, you can, like, if you eat one fruit, that means you can do one thing that costs 1 stamina. So it's like, oh hey, I want to pick up this tree, I want to dig up this whole tree and transport it elsewhere. You have to eat a piece of fruit. And the same with destroying a rock. That rock that I then destroy will respawn the next day elsewhere. So essentially, once I've destroyed everything else, I still need to destroy that rock and then destroy the cliff that it was on, because otherwise there's a chance that it could respawn on top. But this whole cliff part is massively complicated. Like, I've been planning on doing this for ages, and I'm starting to regret it, even though, like, this is definitely what I want to do. I want the whole... Yeah, so if I try and do this, it will... that's not what I tried to do. Basically, I can destroy this bit next to it, but then I won't have any way to destroy it because I won't be able to get up high enough. If I do that, it'll go, can't modify this cliff because there's something on it. And that's why I've got to dig up the flowers as well. So if I do this, you can see I no longer have a way to destroy it. So normally I would eat a bit of fruit, hit it with a shovel, and it will destroy it. And the reason I'm probably doing this right now is because all of my fruit has grown at the minute. So if I need fruit, I've got tons of it. I won't need tons of it, I'll need like 4 or 5 bits, which is fine, like that's hardly anything. But as you can see, like, it's the same with the flowers. If I go to destroy the flower now, it'll go, hey, there's something on it. So what I need to do is I need to climb up. And then dig up flowers before actually I'll put the bells in my wallet. So what I need to do first is just dig this stuff up. The secret though to long-lasting shovel is if you dig a hole, you can press Y on the Joy-Con or Pro Controller to use your feet to fill it in, and then it doesn't use up anything on the shelf. Because obviously the tools have, like in Breath of the Wild, the tools have durability. It's relatively good, but it's a first for the Animal Crossing series, and that's mainly because also crafting is a first for the Animal Crossing series. So obviously, hey, we implemented crafting, and therefore now we have to make the tools have durability. But there are some really interesting things that you can make. You know, like I have made, like I've got a suit of armor essentially in my storage, and apparently I can make a lucky gold cat, which actually I do need to do because it does actually increase your luck, apparently. Like here I can make a giant robot hero, but the amount of shit that I need for it is a lot. Like to make a rocket is hard enough. Like a lot of people consider building those as their end game. Like stuff like any of that stuff can also turn up, by the way, in the shop. The shop changes its stock basically each day. And the items that it turns up are completely random. Some seem to be way more common than others. Like I've had there's like an automatic washing machine thing that has turned up like several times. Yeah, see that's what happens when you destroy a bit with a bug on it. It flies away. I don't care. That weird that noise. That's a bug that's actually under the ground, and you have to dig and let it pop out of the ground and then catch it. I really can't be bothered. They're a right pain in the arse. I've caught one, given it to the museum. I don't ever want to catch another one. Honestly, in my opinion, the museum is like one of the best parts of this game. At least in Wild World, the one on the Nintendo DS, you used to have a coffee shop in the basement of it, and it was you used to get served. I'm pretty sure he was a pigeon. You used to get served by a pigeon called Brewster, as in Brewster or Ster, which is great. That's not in this one, but apparently it's coming. Like, there's been data mines and all sorts. But yeah, this is a rather big job, because this is just the higher cliff bit. As you can see, there's another rock that I need to get rid of, so I might just go grab some fruit in a second and do that, and have those respawn over a couple of days. But the problem is it's almost not worth me doing it right now, because they could just spawn again on top of the rock. Like on top of the cliffs, so I'm making some decent headway, but like this isn't going to be the most interesting. Yeah, I think with the Switch, and I think the ease now that Nintendo have finally worked out how to push proper updates and the games as a service thing with like Destiny and various like other things. I think they've worked out that what they need to do for this to keep it like popular over time is, so Animal Crossing always had seasons and like little events, and those always have happened on specific days and stuff like that. But they've never really been able to push like updates at the same time. So like around Easter you have what's called Bunny Day, and that's all cool and everything, but normally that would just be in the game anyway. But now what they're able to do is do full on like, you know, proper events, proper like patching in new buildings and patching in new items and stuff like that. Like the one thing I'm actually not happy about in this is so in the older games you used to get a lot of Nintendo themed items. Like you used to be able to get the Master Sword in like the stone from Ocarina of Time. And like a Triforce. And like I think Mario hat and a Luigi hat and stuff like that. And that's all been taken out. And I'm a bit disappointed. But I've got a feeling they might bring some of that back at some point. I'd like to think so. Like, this year being the 31st anniversary of, like, Super Mario and stuff like that, I think it's the perfect timing to bring it back. But, like, there are some days on this where you can log in, do some stuff for about an hour, and not touch it for the rest of the day. Like, what I'm doing here is, like, long-term. Like there are islands out there that are just like ridiculous. Like they look like people put ridiculous amounts of hours into the bought a load of furniture. Yeah, it matches. So if I stop doing anything for a second, you can see in the bottom left. The only pet peeve I have on that, while it's real time, the only issue I actually have with it, they don't have a 24-hour clock. And it sucks. Like 12-hour clocks are stupid. 24-hour clocks should be the norm. Cool. I can hear a... So when you hear that sort of wind whistling noise, yeah, it's a present floating on a balloon. So I need to use my slingshot. And there were rumours or like... no, okay, that's way off. There we go. Yeah, use a slingshot to knock down a balloon, which usually contains a present, which usually contains various things. So now I have a fairy tale dress. Let's put a fairy tale dress on. But basically, like, this is probably way more comfortable to do this work in. Very breezy. There is actually an Alice in Wonderland dress in this. So down the middle, it's like that, but it's specifically the straps on the side with the blue underneath, and then it's got like the playing cards along the bottom. Gemzina has that. She has that dress. Like I think she has an outfit like dedicated to it. I haven't seen the kilt yet though. Which is a little disappointing. Then again, it's probably in there. Also, the music changes every hour. This is one of my favourites. You can design your own plates, actually. If I go to here, you go to custom designs. So custom designs like these are just standard square designs. You can put them on like the ground, a tank top essentially, and your face. Whereas the pro designs, you design specifically for pieces of items. So like, I've actually here we go, I'll wear this. I've got a Canucks jersey, and as you can see, they're designed specifically. Or I've got a... I can't wear one of the caps right now because the construction helmet overrides everything. But as you can see, like I've got like tank tops that are shirts and stuff like that. Like there's sleeves down them, so that's a tank top. Those have got sleeves, that's a hat. So yeah, I'll wear the Canucks jersey and no trousers. That'll be fine. Let's put some trousers on. I had American football outfit on before I started doing any of this construction work because I managed to, the clothes shop finally had the American football top on. I haven't again seen a hockey jersey outfit or anything yet, so we'll see. However, my favourite season in Animal Crossing games has always been winter. In winter, everything is snowy. All the trees, or at least all of the seed trees, so all of the actual Christmas tree style trees, have Christmas lights on them, and you find these random snowballs on the floor that you can roll and eventually create a snowman. Which I think I only ever managed to do once in work, because it used to be very hard. Because you could only roll like you only used to be able to roll the balls like very specific like locations and areas and stuff like that. Like the bridges and the slopes were first. Well, they were first for me. I don't know if they were in other games, but they were first for me, at least in this one, because they weren't in one. And that was the last one I actually played as well. Alright, that's a big chunk gone. Let's keep going. Yeah, as you can see, you can't really see it on the map, so give me a sec. As you can see, there's a lot, like, in the top right of the map. That's what I want to destroy. That light, slightly lighter green colour, and not the extremely light colour. Like, that's the cliff that I want to get rid of. So, like, I've got a long way to go. Like, it probably won't take me as long as I think it will, but there's a lot to get rid of. So that the island is naturally kind of square, but like what you'll find is when you're choosing your island at the very start of the game, you can cycle through different options. So mine didn't always look like this. So you always have a river. And mine originally went where that one is going up. I also had one going a bit more forward and down towards the bottom right, and so basically straight down as well. But I filled that all in once I unlocked the construction permit. The construction permit actually is something you have to unlock, and it does take a little while to get it. Like I think Animal Crossing is now my most played Switch game. Let me move. Yeah. Would you believe over Smash is my most played Switch game? It is now 230 hours. I think Smash is about over 150 or something like that. 165 hours. So yeah, you can imagine, like a lot of that time sometimes is idling, because like if I get a fantastic turnip price for the week, which is basically people selling stuff to the stock market, or as we call it, the stalk market. I leave my Switch in the dock idling so people can come over and sell to my island, because then they get a lot of like money for it essentially. The one thing I do like about being down here, with camera being on, is I actually have a consistent, like a nice background that's not just my messy bed. And the funny thing is, the wallpaper kind of matches the branding, as much as I hate it because it's really garish. It does just match the I mean, it's my mum's garish, let me put it that way. If I had my way, it'd probably be like a Hawaiian shirt wallpaper. Like not pictures of Hawaiian shirts, but the print. The good thing is when you get to an edge, you see it rounds off like that. If I destroy the one next to it, it does like quite a large section at once, which is kind of good. So the one thing people are getting really frustrated with, I could try. I don't have VCam installed, and I don't actually have a green screen. And from what I've looked, the Elgato ones are like in and out of stock like crazy. Who is singing? Who's come up here to sing? I can hear singing. One of my islanders is around here singing, and they're going to need to move soon. Oh, actually, so as you can see here, so I've had two red lilies planted next to each other, and that's what spawned what I think is either a brown or black lily. That's one I'm definitely going to want to replant because that's how you get the gold flowers. That's how you get rare flower colours. Oh god, it's... Yeah, so her name is Cat, and she's a cat. She is currently my least favourite islander. And I do want her to disappear, but I'm not like... I'm only going to force her out if I either get like an NFC tag thing. Well, I mean, I don't think she really cares anyway. She's not necessarily in the... Well, she is in the way, but, you know. But I'm still working a bit on top of it, so, you know. But I do want her to leave. But I don't want to, like... So the way... From what we can tell, from what everyone's been able to tell, to be able to get a villager to leave, you either have to have a visit to your campsite and talk to that visitor. So you can have a maximum, I think it's 10 islanders, not including yourself, so 11 I guess total. 12 if you include the fact that you can have more than one person on the same switch. But like, to get an islander to leave, you have to supposedly just completely ignore them for like 2 to 3 weeks, and eventually what will happen is they'll get a speech bubble above their head, and then you'll talk to them and they say, hey, I'm thinking of leaving, and you just tell them, yeah, go, I don't mind, you know, or hey, you can leave, or if you want them to stay, this happens sort of accidentally, because I think it is random as well. You can tell them, hey, I want you to stay, basically. But if you get a visitor to your campsite while your island is full, you can talk to that campsite visitor and try to convince them to stay. And eventually then what will happen is you'll have to talk to them a couple of times, and then they'll go talk to essentially Tom Nook at Resident Services and say, he'll tell them, oh, the island's full. And then, but they'll go, but actually, I overheard that so-and-so was thinking of leaving, and apparently that's random. So it'll say, hey, Kat's thinking of leaving, and then I'll go, yeah, you should talk to her and see if she's actually leaving, and then it'll basically make whoever comes up pack up their bags. The next day they'll have left, and then the day after that, so you'll have the new one move in. I'm making this sound way more complicated than it actually is, but I guess like there's no easy way to explain it. There's really no like quicker way. I've got another fucking rock here on the higher cliff, by the way, so this is kind of annoying. I've like loads of like this is the way since I started playing this. So we're running. Yeah, the whole idea of this was originally that Tom Nook is putting together an island getaway package, and you're one of the first islanders to come and live on the island, you know, to stay on the island. And eventually you basically become the co-owner of the island. Once you get, you know, to a certain point, you're like, Tom Nook's like, hey, I really trust you, you can choose where things go, and this kind of thing, so you start having, you know, control over it. And all he does is like deal with the monetary side of things, as he always does. So like I am now currently in debt to Tom Nook for the cold hard sum of 2 million and something bells, because I've had my final house upgrade, which is a basement. And yeah, obviously he's like, the one good thing is it's basically a mortgage that has no interest and no time limit. So now that I've done the last upgrade, I have literally zero reason to pay that loan off. Normally, you'd want to pay the loan off because then you can expand your house more. Pocket camp, yeah, that's probably got the same, like, it's probably got the same base thing. Like, the hilarious part is, you know, on Pocket Camp, if you shake a tree and get the fruit off, it tells you, oh, you've got to wait like 3 days. Yeah, that happens in normal Animal Crossing as well. Like, Animal Crossing has always been a very, like, patience-heavy game, so it translated to a mobile game very well. Like, if I want to move someone's house, or I want to move my house, I can set it off today, and then it will be in its new place tomorrow. But you can only do one per day. So if I want to move my house, I can kick that off, but then I can't move a neighbour's house either. Oh, sorry, at the same time, as well as. As you can see, this part is also a mess. Those are all weeds. I've got to dig. I need to dig this up now because it's a fossil, and I'll need to go hand it to Blathers if he wants it. Or he'll need to assess it so that I know what it is, and then he'll either take it. He'll either want it as a donation, or he'll go, "We already have one, so go sell it or go give it to someone else." But for now, let's get rid of this bit. It looks like I feel like I'm nearly done with this bit, but I don't know that I am. Where's the map? Oh, I can hear another. Where's another balloon? I can hear another balloon. There it is. If I remember correctly, green is meant to be just resources, so like rocks and clay and iron nuggets and stuff. But I don't think that's true. Yeah. So I now got a new bed. So this bed will look like this if I placed it like elsewhere. I already had one of those ages ago, but it was in black. I'm probably just going to sell that. I have a double bed now in the house, and I don't need it. It's a very Japanese bed. There's a lot of, like, as you can imagine, it being a Japanese game, or Japanese developed game. It's got a lot of Japanese, like, I guess what I'd say is stereotypical Japanese things. Like, not just Japanese themed, but like, I don't know that I've caught that butterfly before. Hang on a minute. I gotta catch me a bug. Okay, so I have caught one of those before, and right now I can't afford to have it in my pocket, so I can just release it and it'll just fly off, which is kind of nice. I can sell them. Basically, the reason I know I've caught it or not is because when you catch something that you haven't caught, whether it be a fish or a bug or whatever, your villager will say yes! Exclamation mark beforehand. I need to just leave one thing to get rid of this rock. So I'll just go do the same way I'm doing. There's a lot to collect. I've got to go in about 10 minutes or so. So I'm gonna finish this bit up here, and then I'll show you the museum. Because there's a lot. Like, they've also updated it now, so it has the art section. So I remember in Wild World this was the thing. You used to have to purchase art from a guy called Red. Is that everything aside from the rocks? Yeah, cool. That's that bit done. So now I've got the big part to do. But I'll show you that later, and I'll have to start streaming this again at another point. Yeah, if I go down here, I'll go to the museum now, because I want to get this fossil assessed anyway. I've lined all of my villages up as well. Right, so up here, this is the museum. So to give you an example, you collect bugs, fish, fossils, and art from the museum. So Blathers is an owl, and as you can imagine, it's very clever. He sleeps during the day, and if you come in here during night, I don't know where it ticks over, but he's awake at night. I need to assess a fossil. I only have the one for him to assess. Let me move this camera back. I'll move up to the top right. So I'll get him to basically, if I want to donate a fossil, I have to get him to assess it first so he can tell me what it is. The fossils I feel are the easiest thing to collect. So fossils aren't limited to time and date, whereas like bugs and I think bugs and fish are. So like certain bugs will spawn throughout certain months and fish will spawn throughout certain months. Whereas the fossils you'll get I think it's 5 to 6 fossils to dig up each day. So you can get them pretty quick, but eventually obviously you start digging up. Here's 6 fossils, blathers. But turns out he doesn't need any of them, so you just go and sell them or you send them to friends. So this is a Spino skull. So we already have one. So I don't need to, I can either go sell it or let me go check people's stuff. Okay, so no one on the Discord server needs one either, so guess I'll go sell it. But yeah, I'll show you the fossil section because it's honestly my favourite part as well. So everything you see is something that I've already collected. So like trilobite and yeah, there's a ammonite and the squid is in here too, and you can see the tarantula there, and there's a piece of amber. I can't remember if there's even a reward for completing it aside from satisfaction. But there's also things that I've never even heard of, like that Dunkleosteus or whatever. But there's a lot of like fossils and stuff like that, and it shows you like there's like a, as you can see, there's like a little tree here. Sorry, that was a large sneeze. But yeah, you go through here. This will. Yeah, I am, Jed. You're a little bit late, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to go in about 5-10 minutes. But I've been basically clearing off. I basically want to flatten the entire place. Yeah, as you can see, you collect a lot of dinosaur fossils. Most of mine are complete. Yeah, that doesn't have a tail. I need a Stegosaurus tail. I think I'm missing one thing from the T-Rex, which is the one that I want to complete the most, but I can't actually remember. But if I click on this, it will show you. Oh, no, I have completed the T-Rex. Okay, Spinosaurus. I'm pretty sure that's actually fossilized crap, by the way. I'm pretty sure that's dino poo. So, you know. Yeah, T-Rex. So it'll only show me the ones I've actually completed. So if I do this, you can see it's got that one. I'll go here to the Triceratops, and then it won't show me any others. Yeah, so that's what. Sorry, that's what it will tell me. It'll tell me, hey, if you've got any more of these, please give me them. Yeah. And then one of my favourite parts is actually, I think it's this section. Yeah, so obviously all of the villages in Animal Crossing are animals. So like a lot of them are birds, koala, kangaroo, elephant, anteater, cat, dog, bear, horse, rhino, pig, I think. Wait, no, definitely rhino. I don't know what that, hippo maybe. I can't remember. Although that might be a hippo. That's probably a giraffe. There's a deer. There's bunny rabbit. There's mice. There's monkey. But when you stand here, it shines a little light on you. Because obviously the skull down there is a yeah. You get the point. But yeah, you've got like the elephant going down to the mammoth and that kind of stuff. I think a lot of it's really, really, really clever. Like the way they've done it. The museum is by far one of the best things in this. And then I think if you go to the I'll show you in the last 5 minutes. I'll show you the rest of the museum real quickly because it's big. When I said there's a lot to donate, the fossils are definitely the most complete part. Like the bugs is probably one of my least complete. But it's huge. The whole museum building is a bloody TARDIS. Like, there's no way in hell that building. Like, how is this here? So, like, there's a wasp's nest for wasps, and like, I think in here I should have. Yeah, there's some bugs. There's a couple of types of fish. There should also be a pond skater in there. Yeah, there you can see the pond skater. Bugs flying around here. There's butterflies up here, or moths along here. I don't see like I've got a dragonfly there, but I'm sure there's meant to be more because obviously it's all time based and stuff like that. Like the thing for me is that like I've stopped catching a lot of them unless Flick's around. Like the normal standard butterflies, I don't bother catching because there's no point. Like in here, there's meant to be a bunch of stuff, like I'm sure, but there's like in here, like I haven't caught ants yet, which I'm pretty sure is what that's for. There's a type of moth or a type of butterfly in there, which I'm sure there's meant to be another 3 types in there. Hence the cocoons. Yeah, like there's nothing in here. There's one of the weird locust things in here. But there's nothing in that one, and I think there's something in that one, but I'm not sure. Hang on, if I do this, it'll show me. Yeah, so there's a centipede in that one. Oh, and there's a moth in that one. Okay, but yeah, there's probably meant to be a lot more in a lot of other areas and stuff. So. Yeah, there's a massive moth there, blah 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 blah. And the same with the fish. So we go to the fish. Oh yeah, it definitely could. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, the museum is probably one of the last bits you'll ever complete in here, especially due to this section. So this is the art section, right? I think so. The art dealer called Red deals in both fake and real art. Thankfully, thanks to the internet nowadays, there are a lot of articles that teach you what's a fake piece, what's a not fake piece, aka what's a real piece. So I currently have 3 bits of art in my museum that are all obviously real. Because what you can do is you can buy a piece of fake art off of him, and if you didn't know about it when you try to donate it to Blathers, he'll go, "Hey, what the hell are you doing? This is fake, mate." In obviously different wording. But Red only turns up like maybe once, tops twice a week. So it's really hard to get, and sometimes like, and you can only buy 1 piece of art from him at a time. So even if he's got like 3 pieces of real art, you can only buy 1 at a time anyway. So it's going to take so long to complete. I do have a decent amount of fish. Some of the things I haven't caught yet are like sharks and stuff like that. There's one of the worst looking fish in the world in here somewhere. I think it's not in here, is it? No. Down here? Yeah, here you go. Here's an oarfish. Go and Google that, because in real life they're freaking huge. Also, there's a submarine and a scuba outfit. Neither of these are actually in the game to use, but people are wondering whether like it's going to become a thing later down the line. I always find this, like, you can do things like this and like through the everything, and it adjusts the camera angle and stuff like that. It's very, like, the whole museum thing is really, really, really nicely done, really cleverly done. Yeah. Red snapper, clownfish, zebrafish, sea bass. I don't know what that one is. Oh, it's the olive dab or olive drab, whatever it is. And there's the weird other olive drab that apparently I caught, but somehow Blathers just happens to have more than one fish, even though if you've only given him one, because he will never take more than one. Yeah. Right, I think I'm gonna have to exit the museum and say goodbye once I find my way out of here. There we go. Yeah, I do find it very clever. I like the idea that Blathers being an owl, he's asleep right now, but if I come in at night, you know, he'll be awake. I can't wake him up by doing that. Okay, alright. We'll exit the museum and leave it there. So that was fun. I'm sorry, most of it was literally just me destroying cliffs, but yeah. There's a lot of water. Yeah. Maybe I'll do this again. Hopefully. Maybe later, maybe not. I'll see. Bye.